Well, folks, welcome to the show. It's World of Wrestling. You know who it is, of course. I don't have to keep saying it. But this is Random Wrestling Talk, episode number 53. We're going to talk about a few things. One, John Moxley's response to CM Punk last week was actually rather interesting and very entertaining. As you guys are coming in, please, by all means, hit the like button to show some support to the channel. I greatly appreciate that. Um, Matt87 Eagle says, "Who are you?" I am World of Wrestling, Matt87 Eagle. You should know who it is by now, bro. Anyway, we got some bad news. And I mean, really bad fucking news. We got Vince McMahon coming back. I mean, I don't know what for Matty7 Eagle says, well, as long as you know who you are. Okay, well, that's great to know. I'm glad you approve. And now let's get on with the fucking show, shall we? Anywho, boy, last night we had a great episode of AEW Dynamite. Thought that was fun and entertaining. We had some boring Raw to watch. NXT. Who the fuck watches NXT anymore? Honestly. And quite frankly, I mean, we got a bunch of news coming out this week. We got news about Rey Mysterio too. What's going to happen with him after WrestleMania? Is he retiring? Is he staying with the company and going to continue to wrestle after he wrestles his son? What's going to happen? So we got news on that. Let me check some other things that I bookmarked on my phone here, so we can actually discuss that. One moment. But yeah, the two big important stories is actually the story about Vince McMahon and John Moxley. So we're going to go over those last, I would say. I'm going to go over the other things that are not that important on the show. All right. So let's go over the light news here. First off, Diamond Dallas Page actually critiques Tony Khan for losing Cody Rhodes to the WWE. During an interview with the Inside the Ropes, Diamond Dallas Page commented on Cody Rhodes leaving AEW for WWE in 2022. Cody would write the TVs like it's challenging to write TVs and storylines and all of that. And Tony was right there, Tony Khan. But Tony didn't know how to do that. He learned that from Cody Rhodes. Holy shit. And he's not telling no lies. Diamond Dallas Page was there at one point. So he kind of knows what was happening backstage. So there is no way if I was Tony Khan, I'm losing Cody Rhodes. There is no way. I mean, the other guys are important too, big time. They're monster superstars, but the guy who technically knows how to do the behind the scenes storytelling, just to point out a couple of them, when I watched Darby Allin go out there for the very first time, no one knows anything about him except for the independent scene. When I watch him go out there and I never want to know the finish, he knows that, and I want to watch. I want to watch like a fan. I watched him go 20 minutes Broadway. First of all, I don't even remember when the last Broadway was. It was so long ago. But Cody saw something in that kid that no one saw in a 5'8", 155-pound kid Nobody could see it, but he did. That's why he got the job. He also was the one who discovered MJF, who is the best heel in the business from the top to the bottom, because he could work, because he knows how to be the heel, the chicken shit, and he loves people booing him. He does not want anybody to cheer him. Nobody is pretty much his attitude. Holy shit, we got nobody in the chat right now. Wow. That's surprising. All right, let's continue. If I was Tony Khan, I never would have let him go. To me, it was like Eric Bischoff letting go of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I was like, no, not him, not him. We all know what happened there. He's got a point, folks. Tony Khan letting Cody Rhodes go. I mean, granted, I did say I was one of the people that said, it's just one superstar. But losing him in creative, that's a huge loss. A very huge loss, because Diamond Dallas Page does have a point. And for all we know, Cody Rhodes might be giving his critiques backstage about creative, and people are listening, and people are taking it into consideration. For all we know, maybe Cody Rhodes wants to lose to Roman Reigns and go through a struggle and have Roman Reigns win once again and still stay champion, for all we know. And then later win the championship later on this year. That might be something that might happen, for all we know. But I don't know if who's making the decision on that one way or another, but whatever. Anyway, that was one interesting story I thought was good. We got a story about Matt Jackson. Let's go over that. All right. So, story on Matt Jackson. Man, guys, what the hell's going on? I thought all you guys were interested. Random wrestling talk. Today is really not a great day. This is really depressing. You guys all came in and then you all disappeared. The fuck's going on? Damn. Something else going on better than this show. At least from follow. Hey, there's one. By all means, please go ahead and hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. It helps out the channel. But anyway, just one moment. Dad, take your
Oh, medicine. Boop, boop, good. Water.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Apologize. Just need to take some meds. I forgot to take them. So I greatly apologize for that. By the way, am I coming in okay for you guys? I'm getting news from my girl that the stream is not coming in very well and it's breaking up quite a bit. Is it coming in better now? Uh, Matt 87 Eagle says, the hell happened? I don't know. Welcome to Random Wrestling Talk, where anything can happen. Oh, shit. This is why I don't like doing live streams, because for some strange reason I have a hard. Matt 87 Eagle says, yep, after reloading. Is it coming in all messed up now? Because from what I'm getting, Sean's View Entertainment. Holy shit. Sean View Entertainment's in the house. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Great opinion. Keep it going, bro. Loud and clear. All right. I appreciate that. I haven't really gotten started with anything outside of talking about Diamond Dallas Page and Cody Rhodes being in WWE, and that was not actually the best thing that ever happened. DDP, yes, I agree. Yeah, I mean, if that's true, I mean, if he was going ahead and having issues with creative, I mean, he was helping creative out, which you can tell by the earlier years. Um, the early portion of their time when they started out, their stories felt more important. Now things are kind of dragging down, they're less important, and so forth. Sean's View Entertainment says many WWE stars have issues with creative as well. Well, I mean, it's obvious. Ronda Rousey had some problems with it earlier this week, from what I heard. So, Sean's View Entertainment, thank you for stopping by, man. I greatly appreciate it. Uh, this is the first time ever having a big YouTuber like yourself here. And I thank you guys for hitting the like button and everything. All right. Thank you very much, Sean's View Entertainment. Huge respect. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Very much so. Anyway, let me go ahead and get started on the other articles I got here to talk about for you guys. Matt Jackson could be missing the 2023 AW Double or Nothing pay-per-view due to the injury. Here's what they had to say during the Wrestling Observer Radio. It was noted that Matt Jackson, the Young Buck, suffered a partially torn bicep. The injury reportedly occurred during AEW Trios title match from March 15, 2023 edition Dynamite in Winnipeg, Canada. Brian Alvarez of F4W, F4WOnline.com noted that it happened early in the match, but it worked. But he worked the whole match with it. Dave Meltzer also commented on how Matt could potentially miss the 2023 Double or Nothing pay-per-view. He opted to not get surgery and is hopefully he'll be back quicker. Surgery, you're looking at 7 months. As far as timetable, it's probably not too long. I don't know. Pay-per-view is in 2 months. 2 months feels short, which is too short. Bad if they are not on the pay-per-view. As seen during the 2000 or the March 22nd Dynamite, an injury angle took place where the Bucks were attacked and taken away from the arena by an ambulance. So there you go. That explains a lot why they were taken off TV all of a sudden out of nowhere. So that definitely explains a lot of things. But hopefully Matt Jackson is going to do all right. And we get to see the Young Bucks actually perform at Double or Nothing in some capacity. All right, let's move on to another story here that I came across. Rhea Ripley. This is a very funny story I came across earlier in the week. Rhea Ripley wants to face Gunther for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. What the fuck? This woman thinks she's China, man. She couldn't kiss China's ass. I mean, she's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong, but my gosh, come on. Jeez. China. This woman thinks she's China going up against Gunther. That's funny. It would never happen because WWE today would not allow a woman going up against a man. It would not work out, especially with the way society is today. Oh, a man can't strike a woman, even if it's in a storyline setting. They don't like that. They think it's disrespectful. Okay, well, whatever. You know, during an interview with Sport Bible.com, Rhea Ripley commented on a potential intergender match against WWE Intercontinental Champion Gunther. I would love to face Gunther. I would absolutely be down for that. I would love to go for the Intercontinental Championship. It would be another history making event, which is all I want to do. I want to be remembered for breaking the stereotype for women at the same time. Ripley also talked about being influenced by Beth Phoenix. She is one of the main women that I idolized growing up in the WWE. Um, just because she looked different, she had muscle. She stood out as this really strong force. I remember seeing her get crap for the way she looked, and I hated that. It reminded me of people picking on me for the way I looked. But um but seeing her go out there and not care about anything and just be herself, I idolize that. So to be able to step into the ring with her and even go face to face and just have these two beefy girls looking at each other ready to kill, I live for those moments right there. Well, very interesting, very interesting. You know, I think that is awesome that she idolized China and has a lot of respect for her. She did a lot for the business when she was in it. And I think it was actually rather awesome. I really do. What she did. And Rhea Ripley paying respects to China for what she has accomplished in her career and wanting to, follow in her footsteps is kind of like honoring a major a legend like China herself, and I think that's pretty awesome. Matt 87 says, I heard Matt doesn't want to have any surgery to avoid missing any months on TV. Yes, that was actually in this last report I did. So yeah, that was mentioned. Uh, Rachel Buck says, World of Wrestling, later watch this video. Dominic and Rhea Ripley crash WrestleMania Superstore on YouTube. All right, I will go ahead and try to make the time for that, but I do have a life outside of this. I do apologize. I'm trying my best to balance my life and do this at the same time. So please forgive me if I don't do everything that I'm asked, or, if I say I'm going to do something, it doesn't entirely mean I'm going to actually be able to do it because I just have so much time in a day. So I hope everyone is understanding about that. And if you guys are, I greatly appreciate it. If you're not, well, tough luck to you guys. Let me go to Rachel Buck's comments though, from earlier before the stream started. She already mentioned about the crashing into the WrestleMania Superstore with Dominic and Rhea Ripley. She also mentions, I think Dominic will make an appearance at the Hall of Fame tomorrow, because if you watch the video that I saw said to watch, my guess is that he will show up there and embarrass his dad. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that would have been more effective if there was no announcement of the match taking place and what we saw at last week's SmackDown episode. So I don't think that's really necessary now at this point. They've already done what they had to do. They've made it official. They don't have to do any embarrassing scene where Dominic and his father have some sort of falling out during the Hall of Fame ceremony. Now, granted, they might take it all the way to that level. Who knows? I mean, they did have certain situations happen like that with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels back in 1996 when they were leading into the WrestleMania 12 pay-per-view for the Iron Man match. So they did have some, insulting words to one another during their time on the podium. So it could happen. Who knows? But I don't think it will. I think they will just leave it as is and not do anything else at the Hall of Fame ceremony and leave everything in the ring and on TV. Hall of Fame will just be strictly what it's supposed to be for the Hall of Fame. Um, and then she also states, "Did you hear that the Hell in a Cell is going back to the original cell that it used to be and not red anymore? And that is actually Triple H's idea." Well, if that's the case, thank God for that, because who the fuck wants to look at a red damn cell? It's ridiculous. Anyway, um, okay, so we drop to the bottom. Rachel Buck's talking about the same thing I mentioned earlier. Yes, I understand, Rachel. I already read your comments up above, so I greatly appreciate it. Um, and no, I still don't believe that Dominic and Ray are going to have a segment in the Hall of Fame ceremony where Dominic does something disrespectful. Just my thoughts on that. If it happens, it happens. But I don't think they need to go to that extent anymore now that the match is official. Um, so I mean, they could, but I think they don't have to. It's not really necessary for them to do that. All right. Now let's get into the other stories here. We already talked about Rhea Ripley. Let's see what else we got here in our old deal of articles. All right. WWE. Let's see here what this article I picked up. Am I freezing up, guys? Because it looks like from my end, I look perfectly fine. I don't have any issues with it freezing or anything like that. So just kind of curious. All right. So WWE could be introducing a new world championship design after WrestleMania 39. This is interesting. As previously noted, Cody Rhodes has teased the idea of bringing back the Wing Eagle WWE title design if he wins the Unified Universal Championship from Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. In a new report on GiveMeSport.com, it's believed that Triple H has approved a new World Championship title design and it could be introduced after WrestleMania 39. Twitter account at WrestleVotes noted the following to GMS. There's a new belt. I don't know for sure if it's getting a new name. I don't know if one of the titles is going away, but there's a new belt that WWE has had made, and the decision makers have approved. Like if they wanted to introduce it tomorrow, they could. Those boxes are checked. That's interesting. I'm looking forward to maybe seeing a new championship belt for the world title because those belts, man, are fucking horrendous, man. They're just bland as shit. Matt A7 Eagle says, "So this is just a rumor. I heard on JD's Off the Script today. Apparently, Alter Bridge may perform Edge's theme song on night 2 since they have no shows booked on Sunday." That's pretty fucking good. I like that. I like that a lot. I hope we get to see that. All right. Let's continue on with the other stories we got here. All right. So let's get into Cody Rhodes. He actually said that it was a bigger gamble leaving AEW to go to WWE than it was to do All in 2018 and sell out 10,000 tickets in a arena in Chicago. I love to read this because I actually didn't read it. I just went ahead and uh saw it, and thought I'd read it to you guys and see what this has to say. During an interview with APN News or APnews.com, Cody talked about recent years of his life and brought up the 2018 All In pay per view that led to the formation of AEW. When I left my former gig to come back to WWE, it was a far bigger gamble than All In ever was. That's why I get these all in vibes when I think about WrestleMania, because I certainly could have been the laughing stock of the industry. And going into the biggest event ever, involved in the wrestling ring from any measurable standpoint, is one part of life being great, blessed, and lucky. The other part is I have my family in terms of Brandy and Liberty, for them to come to this and experience this knowing that it wasn't a life wasted. Every sacrifice I've made, early morning gym trip, times I wasn't able to be home or won't be able to be home, it's not a life wasted in what we do. And that makes this run just all the sweetest. Well, there you have it, folks. That's actually huge, man, to hear him say that, because Dave Meltzer predicted that he would not be able to sell that out. Nobody would be interested in an all-in pay-per-view event, and people bought the tickets, sold it out, and people bought the pay-per-view to watch. I was actually one of those people that did buy the pay-per-view. I think it was like 49.99, I think, or 39.99, something shit like that. But yeah, that's that was huge. And this is with no company. This was all Cody Rhodes' money invested along with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And they made a huge hit. And then they were able to build a company with Tony Khan with AEW. Impressive stuff. But again, like I said, with DDP's comments in that video, or in that article, I should say, not the video, in that article, he was 100% right, because I will agree with him on that subject because of the fact that he was there when they initially started. So he has an idea what's going on. He had an idea what's going on backstage. And if Cody Rhodes was writing storylines, it does explain why our writing for AEW has dropped drastically. I mean, we had storylines being built up months in advance before the pay per view and everything else. Now, granted, we did get that last night for AEW. We got 3 matches look like they're going to be booked. We look like we might have blood and guts for Double or Nothing, Chris Jericho and Adam Cole, and then we got the 3 challengers facing MJF for the World Championship. So we got 3 important storylines taking place already, and we're 2 months before the pay-per-view even comes, which is huge upgrade to compared to what Tony Khan did with the Revolution pay-per-view, where he only started booking the matches or making any hints that they would take place with only a few weeks before the event was supposed to happen. So kudos to Tony Khan at least acknowledging the mistake he made with Revolution, because Double or Nothing is their biggest pay-per-view. All right. Let's get to Rey Mysterio and talk about this. Rey Mysterio addresses his plans to retire as a wrestler for WWE. With Rey versus Dominic Mysterio confirmed for WrestleMania 39, there have been rumors and speculation about the event potentially being Rey's final match. However, it's believed that Rey will continue to wrestle past WrestleMania 39, and during an interview, Wesh 2 News, the 48-year-old noted the following: I've always had this number in my mind, and it's just kept getting higher and higher every single time, just because how great my body has been feeling, and overall, how since my schedule slimmed down. I feel like the energetic person that loves to go in there and perform on a once a week basis just brings out a different type of energy. But I had 5-0. 50 was the number I said I was. I cannot and I don't think I will go past it. So he's predicting he's going to work until he's 50 years old. So he's got 2 more years left. But to be able to be inducted and given such a prestige honor of being part of the Hall of Fame, it's like it's like the ultimate in your career. You always think that, hoping that one day when you're retired, that offer is presented to you. But here it is, I'm in somewhat of the peak of my career, maybe because I still feel great. I feel like I can compete on the level of other superstars, but overall, it's just a dream come true. So there you have it. Rey Mysterio will be working probably until he's 50, depending on how well his health holds up. If he continues to hold up the way he is, then chances are we should see him continue to wrestle till he's 50 years old. So kudos to him. I hope that that continues and he has that kind of luck with his health. Based on the way things look, he looks like he's taking good care of himself. He's not getting injured, and he's really doing well. And he's in a really good spot with this storyline with his son. It's excellent stuff. All right, let's move on to Vince McMahon. Oh, God. This is the secondary important news report. I don't think anybody is dumb enough to not believe that Vince McMahon wouldn't have come to WrestleMania 39. But hey, let's go ahead and smarten the ones that don't believe that was going to happen. Because we all know that Vince McMahon lurks in the gallows in the dark, ready to pounce when the most important thing's about to happen. Why I have a gut feeling this WrestleMania might turn into a lot of shit. Or Vince McMahon's just going to be there to jerk off to watch Omos and the Brock Lesnar match. Who knows? I mean, this guy is out of his fucking gourd. That's all I can say about that. Anyway, Vince McMahon will attend WWE WrestleMania 39. WrestleMania 39 is just days away, and many people have wondered if WWE's executive chairman, Vince McMahon, will be present in Los Angeles, California for the big two-night event. According to Wrestling Observer and PW Elite, the 77-year-old will be at SoFi Stadium for this year's Hollywood theme extravaganza. PWI in particular has allegedly received word from multiple sources within the promotion that McMahon will 100% be in attendance. God help us all. This is really going to suck. Notably, it will be the first WrestleMania in history that McMahon will not have any influence on storylines after long-term wrestling promoter relinquished his role as the head of creative following his retirement last summer amid severe sexual misconduct allegations. What a load of bullshit. We all know he's going to have some kind of influence in the storyline booking and how the matches are going to end. I guarantee you, folks, that Vince McMahon is going to want Roman Reigns to retain the championships. You want to know why? Because Cody Rhodes is not an original WWE superstar. He went off and made himself big somewhere else and then came back to the company that he wanted to be with in the first place, but left because he didn't feel like he was going anywhere with his career. So he left. Well, folks, I'm going to say this. With that being the case, I guarantee you Roman Reigns will be retaining the championships. That's all I have to say on that subject. And then Cody will win the championship probably at SummerSlam. Chances are. And it won't mean a crock of shit anyway. Well, maybe it will because they'll put him through a lot of struggle and he's going to work his fucking ass off to get back to the world championship. If they do that. That's a big if they do that. For all we know, he may not. After stepping away, his son-in-law, Paul Levesque, assumed the position of WWE's chief content officer, and McMahon returned to the company earlier this year as he sought to assist with upcoming media rights negotiations, and a potential sale. However, he made it clear that his comeback would not impact WWE's existing management team, which is a crock of shit. Mostly everything that they say means nothing to these people. Earlier this month, it was reported that McMahon was present at March 6th episode of WWE Raw in Boston, Massachusetts. It's said that the majority owner of the Stamford-based organization sat in Gorilla, the production area behind the stage, throughout the show, but had no involvement in the evening's broadcast, which we all know is a crock of crap. Anytime Vince is backstage, we're in trouble. Guarantee you that. Anyway, it was indicated that McMahon was there to visit John Cena. That's a load of bullshit. Why would he have to sit in Gorilla to do that? The 16-time WWE World Champion returned to the company that night to set up his U.S. Championship match clash with the reigning champion Austin Theory at WrestleMania 39. And that's how the story closes out. So let's be real, folks. Anytime Vince McMahon's backstage in Gorilla, we're in serious trouble. That's all that can be said. Because Vince McMahon doesn't have any self-control. If he ain't got control over something, he's going mad. He wants it all. And Vince McMahon is a load of bullshit. And this article is a load of shit too. He is going to go ahead and have all kinds of involvement in the show. He's going to have all kinds of involvement. I guarantee you that. I would not be surprised. Matt87 Eagle says, if Cody wins, that's fine. If Reigns wins, it's not because Vince doesn't want Cody to win. It's because they want to rebuild the storyline with Cody struggling. That and Reigns breaking 1,000 days as champion. I don't really give a fuck. It's a fucking number. The guy's been champion for over 2 fucking years. Going on 3 almost. Give it a rest. Who the fuck cares he goes beyond 1,000 days? Nobody has gone that long with the Universal Championship anyway, and no one ever will. It's that fucking simple. Cody Rhodes ain't coming close to that. He won't even last a fucking full year as champion. If he does, it will be because they went with Gunther to win the Royal Rumble and then beat him at WrestleMania. That's the only way that's going to last for a full year. Otherwise, there ain't nothing. He ain't going to keep that title for a full fucking year. I guarantee you they're going to push Gunther to win the Universal Championship from Cody Rhodes, whatever they're going to fucking call the title after WrestleMania 39. So whatever. Matt 87 Eagles, not since Hulk Hogan won it. I don't give a shit. It's just a fucking number. Damn. You guys are crazy. Well, you guys, I mean, just Matt 87 Eagle here. He's talking about, oh, they want to break 1,000 days. Who the fuck cares? It's just a fucking number. I feel that Roman should retain the title simply because Cody has not had enough of a struggle to actually garner that huge emotion of winning that title. Him winning that title from Roman Reigns, the way he's been given this easy road to WrestleMania, which has not been a struggle at all. He beat fucking Solo Sikoa this past Monday night with not a problem at all, clean. And now he's going to go up against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and beat him. Come on. You got to give this guy some disappointment. Make him look good, but make him lose. That's what they need to do. This is a Stone Cold Steve Austin WrestleMania 13 type of moment we need to get out of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in this matchup. Cody's still going to look good regardless if he loses. They just need to make him look good in the process. If they don't do that, then at the end of the day, Who the fuck cares if Cody actually does win? Because we still need to make him look important, even though he's going to be defeated at the end of the day, if that's what they go with. Who the fuck knows? Maybe they have Cody win the championship and then turn him heel within a couple of weeks or a few months. Who knows? But that's just my viewpoint on that. And you guys let me know in the chat or the comments down below about that one. Anyway, we're moving on to the main story. The main story is about Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley breaks his silence about CM Punk and the bullshit drama in AEW. Now, before we break this down, I want to say one thing. Even though Jon Moxley might be upset with all the drama that's going on, I don't believe Jon Moxley has any intention of wanting to leave AEW. He's one of their top superstars, number one. Number two, he's got a lot going for him in this company. The only thing that they have that's a thorn in their side is fucking CM Punk. This guy creates all kinds of drama and all kinds of fucking issues. And Tony Khan, not being the type of owner that he should be, is causing even more drama in the process. With this comment from CM Punk on Instagram last week, I honestly feel that CM Punk needs to go. We need to get rid of him as quickly as possible. The guy doesn't seem to care about the wrestling business. He cares way too much about himself. And he's just a fucking moron. The guy has entertainment type of value to him. He brings attention to himself when it comes to on-screen CM Punk. But off-screen, this guy is hard to work with. People don't like working with him. So with that being the case, and then his antics off camera through social media platforms and through the media scrum that he had at All Out in September of last year, who really needs his drama? Who wants it? It doesn't help your company in any fucking way, shape, or form. So who cares? Honestly. But let me go ahead and read you guys the interview podcast that he had with Renee Paquette. He was asked if he wanted to comment on the CM Punk Instagram story, and here was his response. No, because nothing has unfolded. It's fucking annoying. Just because somebody said some stupid shit on social media, that's not news, but it is in reality, and it ends up being a thing. I don't want to get dragged into this dumb shit. I could fucking unload on a lot of fucking people right now. And when I start getting dragged into this shit, it tempts me to do that, but I'm not going to fucking sink to that level. So already right there, he's really upset. And I know why he's upset. He doesn't like how things are being handled in AEW about the situation with CM Punk and the way he's acting. This guy is a fucking moron. Tony Khan and CM Punk are the biggest problem. More CM Punk than Tony Khan. Tony Khan's just a nice guy, I think. Who knows? He might be an egotistical asshole like Vincent McMahon is, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to push people around and be this tyrant or anything. He's trying to be fair to everybody. And I can appreciate that as a boss, but at the same time, if you got a guy disrespecting your company, disrespecting you, and disrespecting the workers who have helped you keep this company afloat and help you earn more money towards your investment, you really ought to get that guy in fucking line. Because having him run around and saying shit and talking dirt about your own fucking company while you sit there at a media scrum and do nothing makes you look like a bona fide idiot. And that's what Tony Khan looked like during the media scrum back in 2022. I honestly kind of agree with Jon Moxley. Why is this even a fucking thing still at this point? It's in September of last year. We are in March of 2023, about to go into April of 2023, and we're still talking about this fucking incident. Who cares? CM Punk is a big mouth. I honestly believe the man has a lot of mental issues. Honestly, I think the guy has got a fucking screw loose. The guy has got everything going for him. Tony Khan wanted to put the company on his back, make him the number one guy. And honestly, bro, I honestly believe, folks, that CM Punk is lying through his fucking teeth. He actually said that Tony Khan would have him wrestled injured for a fucking squash match. You can't do that. Legally, CM Punk could have sued Tony Khan for putting him in an unsafe work environment. You got to be fucking kidding me. That's a lawsuit. He's not allowed to do that. If it's something he can work through, yes, that has to be cleared by a doctor. If the doctor doesn't believe he's cleared enough to wrestle, then no, he shouldn't be performing at all. He should be on the sidelines. I've said this before to Matt 87 Eagle on the phone personally. I believe that the interim idea was kind of a cool idea at first, but based on the situation that the interim champion does not actually count as a legitimate champion in the history books, then it should not be called an interim champion. When someone is carrying a belt, that should count in the history books that he actually was the champion. The only thing is, it should be an asterisk as being the interim champion because it's not technically the official champion, but it's still being a champion regardless. And that is something I totally agree with, that the title should mean something. And if it's not going to mean something in the history books, then it should have been Jon Moxley, the official world champion, until CM Punk can come back and get his first crack at the world title when he's healthy to perform. This Rocky 3 idea, I mean, I get it. I understood what they were going with, if that was the technical idea, what they were going with, which it looked like it was, based on how it was described. Rocky 3 is where Rocky Balboa got knocked out and brutally destroyed because of what happened to his trainer. His trainer died on him and everything, and he was worried about him in the back, and he ended up getting his ass kicked by Clubber Lang. So that's understandable. And then he came back, trained really hard, and worked his ass off to get a rematch and won the title back from Clubber Lang. So that being said, that is understandable for a movie concept. This was not necessary to make the title fucking switch hands when Jon Moxley could have just been the actual champion and then stayed champion all the way through until All Out, and then CM Punk won at Chicago. That's what they could have done, but they didn't go with that at all. So, whatever, they fucked up. That's my personal opinion on that. I don't think they needed to swap the titles back and forth, make Jon Moxley an interim champion for only a few weeks, and then poof, we move the title back to CM Punk after he just lost it 2 weeks before. That's idiotic. That makes no sense. You want to talk about Rocky 3? Okay, fine. That's the one thing I will agree with CM Punk. I think the idea and the concept of doing that in a wrestling concept storyline is a little ridiculous, especially with it only being a few weeks. If he would have lost the title and then never challenged for it and went away for a while and then came back to challenge for the title because he had a psychological issue with what is going through with his foot and so forth, that's fine. But to do it in 2 weeks and do all that and just rush it, that to me is not a legitimate storyline to go with just for the sake of saying, hey, this is Rocky 3 concept. Let's go with it and implement it in our pro wrestling show. I think that's fucking retarded. Just my opinion. Anyway, moving on. So he continues. I will say this, though. I will give you a tidbit of information from my point of view. The entire summer, I was not under contract with AEW. No contract, free agent. I was at SummerSlam weekend wrestling Desperado, and shit, the day of SummerSlam, fucking suplexed him on a bunch of aluminum cans and shit cut in half. It was fucking dope. I could have walked into SummerSlam that night with the AEW title, and if I had, I'd been so inclined. Nobody knew that because I don't put my shit out there in the world and let everybody know every fucking thing about my business. The night in what his uh the night in what his dicks is referring to CM Punk talking about, Minneapolis is the night he came back, hopping on one foot after me and Jericho wrestled. Badass match, by the way. We're talking later about stuff. Bear in mind, this is my point. I basically don't work there. For all intents and purposes, I don't even work here. Tony Khan is not my boss. I don't even have to be in this room. I don't have to do shit. So even me being in this room and offering and agreeing to a storyline that puts you over at the pay-per-view All Out 2022, if anything, I am bending over backwards for Tony and for this dude and for the company because I didn't have to do shit. If anything, I was bending over backwards, so that's it. It's not even controversial. I'm just telling you how it is. I will say this, and I hate to say, I don't think I've ever said anything remotely negative about AEW, but I will say this. As an observer, it seems like I spent 8 years in the Indies, did a couple of years in developmental from the NXT, did 8 years in WWE, and I have never seen so much bullshit drama in one place in my entire fucking life. So there you have it. I will read what you have to say, Rachel Buck. I will go ahead and attend to your comments. Just give me a moment. I'd like to do my commentary on this article from John Moxley. He is pretty much saying that there is a ton of drama, and it's true. There is a ton of drama, and it's all through CM Punk. There might be other side dramas that are going on that really doesn't affect the whole company as a whole as much as it does with CM Punk. CM Punk spews so much negativity and so much anger about this company. It makes me say to myself, then why is he there? John Moxley just feels that way because he's not enjoying the fact that there's so much drama when there could be a lot more positivity going on there. But he's not going to give up that easily because he loves the company he works for. He just doesn't like the bullshit that's going in it. And that is because of CM Punk. CM Punk's a fucking cancer to this company, just like Vince McMahon's a cancer to WWE. It's that fucking simple. Vince McMahon is like a fucking hovering cancer over this company, WWE. And it's nerve wracking to be worried and concerned that this guy might actually get involved in creative again and fuck everything up that Triple H has been changing about this company and trying to make it a better product for people to enjoy that used to watch it and stop watching it at one point. So, just saying. I think the whole thing is just insane. I hate what's going on with CM Punk with in AEW. I wish AEW would Tony Khan just let him go. He doesn't like wrestling. He's always saying stupid, dumb shit. And he's always unhappy. So give him what he wants. Get him out. He doesn't need to be there. It's that simple. Anyway, let me get into the comments in the chat and then we'll close up shop here. Rachel Buck says, World of Wrestling, or Wrestle World, says, sources tell me that given the WWE are interested, Tony Khan has given the okay to Christian Cage to make an appearance with the Brood at WrestleMania. This is not confirmation. Well, if Christian shows up there, good for them. I don't know why he would even care to go to WWE and why Tony Khan would be okay with that. I would not give WWE the chance a day with them being their competition. Just saying. that Christian will appear at WrestleMania, just word that Tony Khan would allow it. I don't know why Tony Khan would allow that. I really don't. Um, Alyssa Stansberry says, hope Roman Reigns not retain championship. Doesn't make sense. He kept it, him keeping it thousands days if SummerSlam, it's a joke. I'm sick of Roman Reigns. Okay. Well, you may not be happy with this, but the idea of having Cody wait until SummerSlam is probably the best idea because of the fact how they have booked Cody Rhodes, making it so easy for him. That's a huge problem by booking decisions. That's not Cody's fault, but it might have to be postponed for Cody to win the titles. That's the only reason why he'd probably lose. Other than that, Alyssa Stansberry, I agree with you. I think Cody should win. I think enough is enough with Roman Reigns. He's done his job with the Universal and WWE championships. So, I honestly think it's about time for Roman Reigns to lose the championships. But if they want to go the route of making Cody Rhodes struggle to get to that championship so he can win it at a bigger moment, I would be okay with that as well. But I understand how you might feel about Roman Reigns. He has been champion long enough. He's done everything he needs to do with that championship. Let's move on to someone else new and fresh and maybe find new challengers and new opponents for that title. So there you go. Rachel Buck also states, I hope Edge brings Christian and Gangrel with him to the Brood. Can be reunited at WrestleMania in the match in Hell in a Cell. I don't care for this nostalgia, honestly. I want to see a good match. If this is Edge's last match, Finn Balor should win. If not, then Edge is going to win and move on to bigger and better things. Rachel Buck says that CM Punk is old. That's obvious. He's been injured twice throughout 2022 while winning the World Heavyweight Championship in AEW. That's pretty nuts. Matt 87 Eagle says, you're going to do a brief WrestleMania prediction rundown after the mock story? No, I'm not. That's a lot of fucking matches to go over. I'm almost at an hour, so I am good. Rachel Bucks meant CM Punk is old. I know what you meant. All right, guys, so that is pretty much it. I will be live both night 1 and night 2 for WrestleMania, so catch me here. I will go over everything that happened on each night, and it won't be a full-fledged hour unless you guys come in and there's a lot of people wanting to chat with me. Other than that, we will just break down the matches, give the ratings for each match, and just pretty much talk about how the flow of the show went, how it felt. Was it entertaining? Did it felt like a real and true WrestleMania for us? Or was it absolute waste of time both nights? Just the way I see it. Lissa Stansberry says, blame Roman Reigns for storyline's part-time schedule, not fault his. It's Roman Reigns. All right, well, it is what it is. I don't know. But I'm not going to put blame on Roman Reigns. I would put the blame on WWE for the way they booked Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania, because Cody could have struggled in the Royal Rumble match, faced some adversity, actually wasn't number 30, maybe number 19, number 15, halfway through the Royal Rumble, maybe the third entrant into the Royal Rumble, something of that kind of nature earlier on in the show, so that he has a reason to say he had a struggle and worked his ass off, beating 29 other guys. He came out as number 30 and only had to worry about 6 other people. That's not a struggle or something that you can say, oh, wow, I really worked Rumble. No, I don't agree with that. I think that is a crock of shit. And speaking of that, I think most people that have come out to be number 30 and win the Royal Rumble, I think lose at WrestleMania for the World Championships. Matthew Consuelo says, I'm sorry I'm late. No problem, man. I greatly appreciate you just at least stopping by, saying hello, and giving me a call out here. So I greatly appreciate you, Matthew. Alyssa Stansberry says, "What struggle he had? He had a Hell in a Cell." Um, yeah, he did, but he was gone for 8 months. He came in at number 30 and he won, beating six other guys. That's not a struggle. Sami Zayn has had a struggle. Sami Zayn would be the proper guy to go with winning the world championships. But he had his match at Elimination Chamber. There's no way you're going to have Roman Reigns lose the championships at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So Sami Zayn was the best guy to go with under the circumstances that we had building up from November all the way up to now. But we're not actually going to have that. But he's in a very good spot with the Usos and KO. So just my viewpoint on that, Alyssa Stansberry. I understand how you might feel. You're sick of Roman Reigns. A lot of people are. I want to see something new and fresh. But at the same time, we need to give this the proper moment for Cody Rhodes so that we can all say that he worked his tail off to win the championship. Just my viewpoint on that. Man, I'm a little disappointed in you, Daniel. Where the hell are you, bro? Just kidding, man. If you happen to catch this video, I greatly appreciate you sitting by and listening to the full hour of this entire episode of Random Wrestling Talk, episode number 53. And all of you guys that come in, say hello, or at least show some support to the channel, I greatly appreciate you guys very much. So, at this time, guys, that's all we have for tonight. So you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I thank you very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.